They're the worst. They're the worst.
Hello and welcome back to our newest series, OVA or No VA. As always, I'm Noah Davis.
I'm John Pina.
And we are here to talk about the first OVA of this series, Cyber City Oedo 808. Oedo 808. Is that a pun or something? Never mind, doesn't matter. Which is basically, long story short, it's basically Dirty Dozen or Suicide Squad, but set in the year 2808, and it's about super future prisoners becoming this kind of elite task force, and this first episode is having one of the main criminals try to save people in a skyscraper. Big picture?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things I can say, but I would say, one sentence summary is, it's cool. This could go somewhere. They gotta tame the cursing.
Yeah, I have a feeling that won't be contained, or maybe we'll get kind of a reprieve from it for the other two characters. I don't know if the main guy whose name was Sengoku. Named after the Sengoku era of Japan, which is when it was like feudalism, civil war kind of thing. Yeah, which was a cool name just because Sengoku is a cool word. But yeah, I hope when we get the other two characters, Benton and Gogol, I hope they don't curse as much, because it did seem as though it was only him really cursing.
Nah. Nope. You're wrong.
Well, I mean, cursing as much as we heard.
No, I'm telling you, it was the other two, too. Basically, anyone who's depicted as a criminal, 90% of the dialogue was cursing.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll get into that one. Big picture, the vibes are there. The art is fantastic. The direction,
the art's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun to look at. Even if you muted this, I think you'd honestly be fine. Just as an artistic aside. But big picture. Then the good stuff, like I said, art, the animation is dope. There's no freeze frames from Blackjack, which is nice. I was getting tired of those, and I'm glad it wasn't just a thing in the early 90s, and I'm glad it did not carry over. I will say you can kind of see where either this was influential for people or this was already entrenched in the cyberpunk influence, Nowadays, it seems as though a lot of things borrowed from this. Take the first shot where they're introducing the team and the guy with the cigarette is like in the shadows. That's basically just from Mass Effect. It's literally the elusive man, and he is just a man in shadows who smokes a cigarette. So I don't know if they were exactly the first, but you can tell this did have some influence over later sci-fi things, which is always cool, go to the origins. I think it even did solid world building for what it did. I mean, we only got 43 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I understand the world they're in. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. I want to piggyback off a couple things here.
Yeah,
so art, I mean, we can deep dive this for a bit, but, I don't want this to be OVA comparisons too much, but I just have to bring up, Blackjack, the plot is definitely there, the universe is definitely there, but it's a little samey, and it gets a little dull. This, I mean, within an instant, you're, transported immediately into the universe. Again, art phenomenal, but even the characters, each of the three main criminals just has such a distinct, cool look. You want to learn more about them.
Yeah, great designs.
I don't know that the dubbing is perfectly voiced for each person, but whatever. And I don't know why the big brutish guy. I mean, I get it. It's a little comical why the big brutish guy is the tech expert hacker, but whatever.
I mean, I kind of like it going against the archetypical, big brute guy's just the muscle and that's it.
Right. No. I mean, it's a nice sort of anti-trope for what it's worth. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you don't really get any explanation of any of the characters outside of they're all criminals. So I feel like one of my biggest issues and gripes with the amount of cursing is that like so much of it was essentially filler dialogue that you could have just put these little threads of who these people are at their core, and instead it was just them sort of angrily cursing and being upset that they're prisoners slash criminals slash cops, you know.
Yeah, and like as you said, the only real character build up through dialogue we got was really near the end. Well, I mean, Sengoku's kind of take no shit kind of prisoner dude who doesn't even care in the situation he's in. But at the end, we kind of got his humor, and then him outsmarting the trajectory prediction program. And yeah, we really didn't get a lot of that throughout the episode. It was just kind of fuck this, fuck that, motherfucker, shit bag.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the random like, oh fuck this crap. And you're like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even how you curse. It just like I don't know, just felt so weird, some of the writing. But again, staying on the positives. Another point you mentioned was just like, you know, the cool element, the ability to, and again, it goes with the art as well, but like the ability that you could just mute this, not only get like basically the entire gist of the episode, but essentially the same amount of like understanding of each character, which is pretty impressive. That again, or it either speaks to the poor quality of the writing or how expressive the artists are in the way that they, animate the characters and design them.
I think you could say both.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to lean it on the positive side, but I do think it is both.
Well, yeah, okay. And keeping with the positives, I think the plot was explained without being heavy on the exposition. It took us 2 seconds to explain, okay, this is Dirty Dozen Suicide Squad prisoners. I get it. Then it took 2 seconds for the whole the skyscraper, that story. It didn't take long to explain why the skyscraper was being hacked. It had a nice quickness about it, even if the dialogue somewhat suffered. So that's always nice. It wasn't heavy-handed in the story.
No, not at all. And another point positive on the visuals slash plot is for a first episode. This came out of the gates with a semi-interesting plot, and then it just kept leveling up as you found out, like, the only suspect's a dead guy, and then it's like this cool mecha corpse, or not mecha corpse, like electrical.
I put cyber corpse.
Robot corpse, cyber corpse. There we go, like that. Like that's badass, and then like the whole like calculating the trajectory thing, and then he just fucking walks past it because he like outsmarts the. I was like, dude, this is just cool, And again, didn't need any words, which is part of the problem, but so cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and going back to, like you said, the character designs, but even just the world designs, the buildings, even his gun, the scoped revolver, just all the the shooting sai. I guess that's a thing in the year 2808. It was just all the choices were right, and even the cyber corpse. I even put cyber corpse Amachi. Sounds like a different anime.
Right.
But even the cyber corpse, I even loved how they reused that headshot of just the still image of his skull surrounded by the wires. It just, without actually animating, it made him seem like a threat, which is really impressive.
Very much so.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Only other cool thing that could be expanded upon is like, the threat. They've functionally gotten quote unquote freed and opportunities to lower their sentences of whatever several hundred years apiece, but they just have like an explosive freaking dog tag on them at all times that they can just remote detonate.
Right.
It's like the stakes are incredibly high, but also they sort of don't give a fuck. Like the whole thing is just set up to be cool as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, and again, see, Dirty Dozen was World War II, so it didn't steal from that, but Suicide Squad definitely stole from that. I mean, that's literally the plot of Suicide Squad. So yeah, it's cool to see maybe not the actual origin, but one of the originals who did that idea. Because like you said, it makes it cool. Everything's badass. And we can get in the negatives here in a second, but even the choices of words they say are trying to be badass, which is kind of a detriment. But it's clear that everything in this OVA is just trying to be cool, and it achieved most for the most part. Any other
Agreed
positives?
completely. Unfortunately, not really. Those were the ones I wanted to remark on. Was the art, the cool factor, obviously the big bad of this episode. So
yeah, the only other kind of positives is I'm glad we didn't just get thrown into all three characters immediately. I'm glad we I assume this is a Sengoku based one, and then maybe next episode is Gogol, or kind of, maybe not only Gogol or only Benton, but maybe we kind of get images or a look into those other two characters. So it's a good kind of soft landing, or soft onboarding, I guess, the other
also,
way.
I know you keep calling him Gogol, but I
I thought
wonder
his
if
name was
that's just
Gogol.
like, well, I think that's just like a way that it's written, because it is goggle,
Oh,
like because he wears
I
goggles.
could have sworn they kept saying Gogol.
I mean, I think they are, but like that's like, it might just be like, what's the word, like when the Japanese word is just like sort of a butchered English thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we dealt with this in
Yeah,
Blackjack.
because in the wiki his name is Goggle,
Goggle. I could
and when
have
you like
sworn they
Google
were saying
Translate,
Guh.
no, I'm saying it's spelled Gogul in the synopsis, but when you break
Oh,
down the character's name, the Japanese
Gogul.
translation is literally Goggle.
Weird. Okay, so they just localize the
Mm-hmm.
actual letters or the
Mm-hmm.
sounds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I thought his name was Golgo, because that's a different old anime, Golgo 13, about a hitman. So I thought it was Golgo,
Like a
and then
callback kind of thing.
yeah, but then they said Goal. So yeah, I'm putting a second L there when I guess I shouldn't. Gogol. Yeah, well, I hope to see more of Benton and Gogol in the next two. I will say, kind of last positive, I really love the ending. How they save the day and yet they're all still punished, and and
Yeah.
he
Like it's sort of dystopian.
yeah, and he's just threatening this robot who's super innocent and naive, and then he gets asked out by a cop, and they have this really funny exchange, because she's, why not? It's like, oh, because I'm a criminal, you're a cop, I don't want to go out on a date, you do.
Yeah, it's a Monday. Like I got
Yeah.
shit to do, and then she's like, "See you at 8."
Yeah, exactly. I think that was a great way to finish off the episode, to just kind of lift it up from the heaviness throughout it. And then the last thing I'll say, which really isn't a positive, but I'm curious what the whole kind of tease of that Sengoku's personal life was, where he was out on the
Right, like was he
ledge.
trying to kill himself? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's stalking that woman or thinking about suicide, but I hope we get something along those lines. Maybe just explain. I hope that's a tease for further content, but you never know. Sadly, negatives.
Well, I do want to comment. I had
Oh yeah,
forgotten
yeah,
about that little exchange at the end,
yeah.
but I mean, it's actually one of these borderline things, because I do think that was a great exchange. But that's what pisses me off even more about my number one negative, the cursing, is that like
They can write.
clearly they're capable of having interesting writing
Yeah.
that does expand on who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a funny, witty guy who like has had it up to here with the world, but also like is down to clown and go on dates. And
Right.
that happened in whatever 4 lines of dialogue. Meanwhile, the other 80 lines he has is just shit, man, fuck this, I hate this shit.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean,
wait,
we're gonna get
come
into
on.
this. This might be our
So yeah.
most cursing episode because of this show.
Yeah, this is just me quoting the show. This isn't even me cursing.
Yeah, well, I wrote a few because I
Right.
had to.
Well,
But
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, okay. So the queer negative, if you couldn't tell, is that the dialogue is very curse heavy, and not even a Tarantino curse heavy. Literally, I'd say on average every 4 words. You know,
I think you could theoretically be underestimating it with that.
maybe. I mean, it's totally fine. We got fuck, shit hot, pain in the shitter. That was one sentence. or at
Yep.
least one exchange was fuck shit on pain in the shitter. And then when he goes to kill the one guy, or not kill the one guy, the guy who kind of caused this whole mess and killed Amachi, he calls him cocksucker, cocksucking SOB.
Yeah. Oh, that's like one of those perfect examples. Like, why SOB?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, yeah, and another reason, or another one of these, is when he shoves the gun in the robot, he goes, take this, sucker. And it's like the one time where motherfucker could have perfectly fit. You didn't say it.
Yeah.
Just
Sucker.
like, uh, also when he kills the cyber corpse, he says, adios, bozo. This time I'm downloading you straight into hell, which is awesome, but that's the time when you should have cursed. I love that line at face value, but when you kind of pair it with everything else, it comes off a little weak because again, they say fuck and cocksucker and shit so many times. I'm almost convinced they were just trying to get a mature rating because overall, there wasn't that much violence really, right?
No, I wouldn't say so.
So I wonder if they were literally just trying to kind of, I don't know, get that mature Japanese audience or, American audience, whoever, just to be like, oh yeah, this is actually dark and gritty because we curse. Because yeah, I mean, the actual violence itself, there was not really a ton. I mean, there were some explosions and some gunshots, but they weren't like bloody shootouts.
Right. And I guess probably just because the villain was a dead guy.
Yeah, I guess that too. And, I assume there's room for more in the next two episodes, but just from this first one, it felt out of place, all the cursing. I'm actually surprised. I don't think we saw any nudity, did we?
No, that's what I was going to comment. I was like,
Yeah.
I almost wanted to lean into your pitch and, your sale of maybe the cursing for MA, but like, come on, bro. They could have just fan service if they wanted that. Like this feels like perfect, like, like Adult Swim teen anime.
Tsunami vibe. Mm-hmm.
But then they, for some reason, just curse all the time.
Yeah.
So that's where I was confused. So maybe subsequent episodes will have fan service or some reason for it to be MA. Like the violence goes outrageous, like when they start fighting other humans. But yeah, it just felt unnecessary, obviously, as we've beaten to death now.
Yeah, I mean, the first 10 minutes it felt unnecessary, and then it went on another 30 after that. So
Yeah. I mean, truly, you basically don't know anything until the end about any of the people, like how they think, how they converse, other than they're criminals who cuss. Like that's it.
But do you have any more negatives? I don't have a ton. I mean, I think you've talked about the dub.
Yeah, no, I really don't think so. I mean, I thought the plot was great. I thought the art was great. I just thought the writing was a little lazy, and obviously that was driven by the cursing. So
yeah, okay. I mean, do you have any et ceteras or anything like that? Any notes from the wiki we should know?
No, none from the wiki other than the thing I mentioned pre-record, which is just like this has a video game based off of it. On later episodes, I'll talk a little bit more about some of the like soundtracky stuff because there's a whole thing there. But
the music was dope. Forgot to
yeah, the music was good. Again, like thematically, this just built a better anime and a more typical anime or OVA, I guess, than what Blackjack was. No offense.
I mean, instantaneously. I think that's the if anyone's curious, we just did Blackjack or Whackjack. You can check that on our page or wherever you find us. But yeah, in comparison, Blackjack pales. Because they're just, I don't know.
Vibes.
I mean, Blackjack was good. Or fine, maybe. But this was just way better, literally instantaneously. I mean, first 5 minutes, I was more into it. Even the theme sequence was cooler. Yeah, I don't know. I think we should wait to call it OVA or NOVA till we're fully done. Is that fair?
Oh yeah, I think because it's such a shorter show, it's not like an episode by episode. I think it's all going to make its case for itself, or it's not.
Okay, well, unless you have any other notes.
Nope.
Okay, well, that has been episode 1 of OVA or no VA. Join us next week when we do the second and third, which is the final part of this show thing. I still don't know what to really call them other than OVA. But
It's a 3-part OVA.
yeah, join us next week as we finish out Cyber City Oedo 808. That is kind of hard to say, but until then, we're out of here.
Peace.
They're the worst.